This is my Yamaha R125, and you probably see a lot of these around, and with good reason. They are fast. Maybe not the fastest, but for a 125, reaching speeds at almost 90 miles an hour, they definitely go in that A tier. Not only are they fast, but I would argue they are one of the best looking 125s out there. And this is my R125. Maybe not as good looking, but there's a reason for that. Engine's just blown up on the M1. Oh, for sake. This is what it sounds like. Yeah, check, I'm cooked. That's right. My engine gave up on the way to Manchester, 3 hours away from home. And when an engine goes bad, you should probably take it to a shop. But I wanted to challenge myself and fix it. So the first thing to do is strip down the bike and start disconnecting. So we start off by removing the fuel tank. It's just 3 simple clips, 3 bolts, 2 at the back, 1 at the front, and the fuel tank should just come out. I would advise that the fuel tank is quite low so it's not as heavy. Now we have access to the air filter. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take off the front sprocket by taking these 2 bolts off and then take the chain. So that should be a new start to get more things off. Once you've done that, you're going to bleed the radiator, get rid of all the coolant, and then start disconnecting the pipes to remove the radiator. I don't know if I'm missing something, but I thought there should be more than that. Unless my bike... This is not nice, this is full. Okay, yeah, I was definitely missing something. I didn't know that would work like that. First time I'm doing it. Now we're removing the brackets that hold the coolant reservoir into place. It's held in by 2 bolts that connect onto the engine. The coolant reservoir taken out. We're doing this. Next step, we're removing the coolant pipes from the radiator. Just be careful not to rip them as they are quite difficult to pull out sometimes. Now we're removing the radiator mounts that keep the radiator in place. It's held in by 3 mounting points. The rubber sleeve that some of the wires and pipes go through that made this very fidgety. Quick reminder, if you are going to remove the radiator, make sure you disconnect the lambda sensor before taking the radiator off, as I forgot to and caused me a bit of trouble, as you'll see. Forgot to unplug the lambda sensor and I don't have a flipping spanner big enough. I managed to take out the lambda sensor. I forgot that I had a adjustable spanner. Back with the bike. Now from this point on I have no idea what I'm doing next. I'm going to assume I want to take all this throttle body out. As you can see, the valve system, when you hold the throttle, it opens and closes, and it's all connected to here, and I don't think you want that with the engine. So I'm going to try to undo this bolt. It's my first ever time working on something like this. To remove the throttle body from the engine, there's 2 Jubilee clips that hold it tight. It was a little bit difficult because the frame was in the way, but I managed to get it done. Now I'm removing the throttle cable from the throttle body. It's just as simple as undoing the nut and then pulling it out. The throttle cable is split into 2. One goes into the top, one goes into the bottom. Well, I wasn't even recording, but the throttle body is now out. It wasn't too difficult actually, it was quite fairly easy, but remembering how to put this back together might be an issue, to be fair. But first I still got to get the engine out and actually get it running again, so that it's the least of my concerns right now. 2 things that should not belong together: an idiot and an angle grinder. Well, this is what we've got, and for safety goggles, this is all I've got. Now I look like a minion. So here we go. So now we're going to try to get a flathead. Flathead that doesn't work, we're going to try to get something really strong that can fit and act as a breaker bar, and hopefully we can get this out. If not, I might be a bit messed up. I've come to a conclusion and I'm just going to cut the nut off. We've cut it off. Now we should just be able to unbolt the other side. Right, to the exhaust off, let's go. the exhaust off. That's the first ever time I've actually managed to get the exhaust off. Now that I've removed the exhaust, I can access the oil drain plug and remove all the oil from the engine. Bear in mind, by the way, guys, this was with some new oil, like thinking maybe it would fix it. It was worth a try. Make sure when you remove the oil, check for little metal particles in the oil filter and the oil drain plug. This is an indication for internal engine wear, but surprisingly, I didn't have any metal particles at all. This could be a good sign as the engine might still be savable. Now we can get back to the sensor, and if we just do a little unscrew, there we are, no oil's coming out. So we are getting very close to getting the engine out. It is quite simply just undoing the clutch and this. So to help you get off the clutch cable, just want to get a adjustable spanner, just like this, fit to the right size, and literally twist it like that, and then you can literally just pull that underneath. So we're going to take off this little bracket that seems to be holding the clutch cable, and it's too tight and I don't want to unplug it from there. It'll just be easy to take this off. I should have done it originally anyway when removing the coolant reservoir, but we'll be alright. A pipe that goes from the fuel tank to the engine, and it goes right here, so I'm gonna have to try and somehow get onto that clip down there and then pull this out. Managed to get that out. It's just this little pipe here that connects obviously to the fuel tank. All right, as we can see, this is starting to get rounded off, so the only option is to drill it. Right, tell me I'm impatient, but my drill died during that. And I realised that 2 bolts would just disconnect the starter motor, so why didn't I just do that anyway? So as you can have a look from here, we did 2 bolts there and there. I just thought this would get loose, but no it didn't. I was just an idiot, and now the starter motor can just come out just like so. And then I think now we can just literally undo the engine bolts and the engine should be out. We're finally moving on to the final part to removing the engine. This is something I've never done before, and I've definitely learned a lot. We're just removing the engine mount. It's held on by 3 bolts, 1 at the top and 2 at the bottom. Just undoing the final bolt that holds in the engine. This is the hardest one because I have to lift the engine as I undo the bolt so I can pull it out. The engine's out. We did it! I've took an engine out. So there's 1 wire I didn't see it go in. Just now that I took the engine out, I forgot that the negative part to the battery, easy peasy, just like that. And it should just come out. A few more and boom, that's the earth wire. Okay, so here we are. We've actually took the engine out. This is the most I've ever done working on a bike, and it's a pretty light, it's a 125 engine, so I can't imagine it being any heavier than 30-40 kilos maybe. Feels like I'm taking a fishing picture, but there we are. We've actually done it. This is huge. Rebuilding this all up together, no clue how I'm going to do all that. But we've got the engine out, and now we need to find a new engine to put in this bad boy, and maybe even a bigger engine. I've actually done it. The engine is out, and this is only the start of many projects I will face, and I cannot wait. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.